Okay, Baruch Hashem. So we're learning in Shirat David, Relationship Flow podcast. Baruch Hashem, we're learning Likutei Halachos, Chaf Gimel Sivan. It's the 23rd day, and the war was reignited. So we're going to learn in the merit that we should have heavenly protection for all of Am Yisrael, all the soldiers, all the families. One should have Shmiras Yonah in the merit of Rabbi Nachman ben Fega ben Simcha and his Talmud of Nosson, Zchus Ranenu of Breslov. And he says here that the role of the Tzaddick is enlightening one's body, which like one's soul needs to be infused with awareness of Hashem through perceptions of godliness. This is Halacha Dalet, Sif Dalet, like the fourth part of the fourth Halacha in Likutei Halachos. And remember, we're learning Ashkamas Boker. So all one sugya since we've been learning Likutei Halachos. Aydei af basori yishgon levetach. As a result of simcha and vitality, chiyas, we learn about bringing chiyas, achein smach libi, having simcha and chiyas upon him, having upon him that smiles, that radiates, like the Ton the Rebbe. We're going to go soon to be makabel as upon him, the chasna. You're going to see the upon him, the simcha. This joy and vitality, the simcha, is revealed in Malchus. My flesh too rests secure. Namely, the more magushim flesh, like gross flesh of the body, it will be infused with perceptions of godliness, of elikus. Ki b'shvil zeh nivra adam shivatesh gufa idei amu v'yigia b'torah v'mitzvos. We had this lashon in Tanya, because humanity was created for this purpose, that a person disciplines his body. Yeah, and Tanya almost sounds like you beat it up a little bit, but remember we asked with Yosef Bronstein, and he said nowadays the mashpiyim of Chabad say you shouldn't beat up yourself. Yeah, it's not a good idea, not for this door. But it just means on some level, like a little bit of discomfort. Like right now we don't have the mazganim, we have fans on. It's just weiter, you carry on learning the simcha. You don't let a little bit of discomfort affect you and your avodas Hashem. But in those days they used to like push their body, work their goof. And we do it on some level, exercise or pushing ourselves to get up. There's certain moments of discipline, and through toil and effort in studying Torah and doing mitzvahs, that would be the more healthy one. Yeah, instead of beating yourself up, use it positively. Yeah, use it to push your body to sit in the base midrash and learn daven with your gear, pushing your mind, pushing your heart, opening your heart, and getting your body involved in avodas Hashem. Ki adam lamo yulad. Yeah, adam lamo yulad. When man was born to toil. And this is reference to studying in Torah, pushing yourself, learning in Torah, as Chazal teaches. Suichin la'amol b'Torah ba'avoda l'kadesh l'tar atzmo kol kach ad sheyizka le'ir bo gam gufo ha'oiris ha'musagas alakus yisbrach. One must labor and push in Torah in service of Hashem, and strive to mekadesh, to sanctify and retire, purify himself or herself so much until what? He merits illumination, even his body, with perception of Hashem's godliness, of elikus, like you see by Tzaddikim. Like remember Rav Simaya, you look at his ponim, you see this, and this told the Rebbe also, all the Tzaddikim you see on their ponim are all. Because they turned their all with an aleph, they've turned themselves from all with an ayin to all with an aleph. Their skin has become lichtig. They've refined the iron midas, 70 attributes, and brought the light of Hashem into their midas, so they shine. Ki asadik godo amiti misabev imanu misavuvim noorim ka'ela v'simsumim nefloim ka'ela. We achieve the sanctity and purity because of the great and true Tzaddick, whom guides us around lofty insights. He gives us big musagim and Yiddishkeit, chidushim, just by being around. There's awe. And with such awesome indirect explanations, things that don't really come to mind, but Rabbi Nachman or Rabbi Nosson or Balatanya, all the Tzaddikim, you start to, when you're learning their Torahs, they get you to think in different ways that you never would have thought of. They have chidushim in Torah. And that's a big nekuda. With such wondrous constrictions. This is another powerful concept. Ad sheyeh banu hasagus elikus gamba deinu begufeinu. You hear that? Until he enlightens us with a perception of elikus, even while we're still a ruchnius person inside a guf, inside a body. So you start to illuminate your body. That's the real dira tachtoni. Your body should become more elevated, more lichtig. Kidei shargia gam laguf ha'ara mizeh. So the illumination of the Elikus, which we receive, the Musargim and Elikus, will also reach the guf. Yeah? Enlightening the body through this. So the body starts to understand. You start to teach the body the language of the soul, which is something which I'm very busy with. I'm always trying to work on that. They just put out a podcast episode from this MLP, Masterful Leadership podcast, and it's basically 35 seconds of me talking about what is the language of the soul, explaining it in very short form in English, in the most universal way. And the more you start to explain it and live it and actualize it, the more your guf becomes more refined, more in tune with the neshama. Like it becomes like a candle, a ner, like lit up from the fire of the neshama, and your body, which is like the wax candle or the shemazayas, comes lit up. Ki zeh ikar hashlemus ladir gam laguf mikol oiris hasagas and neshamas besagas. For this is the essence of the spiritual perfection, to inform even the body of all the illuminations and perceptions that the neshama attains. So we have to learn to keep up a balance between the neshama, the nefesh, and the guf. We were learning with the Talmud Rebbe the other day, and he says the mitzvahs, he brought the Tamei mitzvahs from the Sefer Chinuch. He said it has to be like Hafrashas Challah for all those still in Parshas Shlach Lecha. The Indian is it has to be mazen to the nefesh and mazen to the guf. That's the lashon of the Sefer Chinuch. It has to be nourishment. You have to make sure you're feeding both your body and soul. But Chassidus is a big way of feeding your soul. It teaches you the language of the soul, Pnimis HaTorah, and doing exercise, feeding the body, Yechila, Shtia, is feeding the guf. But doing it with kavanah, with intention, with the Chassidus you learn, it elevates the guf, with brochas, with a melis, pushing yourself a little bit out of your comfort. This is a lesson which is chosem b'toch chosem. It's something very deep. The Rebbe discussed this in the Likutei Halachos, where it's necessary to show great compassion for the body, to purify it, and thus be able to inform it of all the insights and perceptions that the soul perceives. I once heard from Moshe Wilson, we mentioned him this morning, about the war with Chaf Gimel Sivan, with the Hafachu. He once said, Moshe Wilson, that a story from Rabbi Nachman, when he went to one of the big Maimarim and Sikhs from the Balatanya, and this was the main Nakuda that he was mispal from. A lot of it it wasn't really his style of Torah, but the Nakuda of having rachamim, mercy on your body through the soul, this he got tremendous hispalis. He got very excited about.
Think about it, the whole matter of the
No.
If the world be a ruchnius world, so what Hashem make the world ruchnius? We break malachim. This Mishabach Hashem all the time.
Right.
Hashem made the whole world gashmis. The whole guf is chuv, migusham guf. The whole world is migusham.
Right.
Because the whole thing, the whole thing of Hashem is that with the guf that we have and the world that we live in, to make it.
If du hast Hashem besimcha,
should be what is Hashem? Should not be the shalah how you live in this world.
It has to affect everything.
If you live as Hashem in this world, so it's different.
Very good, and that's why he goes on to say, very good, Anya. So Zebechinas af basari yishgon lebetach. This is the aspect of my flesh too rests secure. Chagam basar guf yishgon lebetach ayda yizke b'chayav. That even the flesh of the mensch, of the person, will rest securely by what? Bodo beguf lahaket oro, by the dint of the guf meriting awareness, consciousness, intention of our Creator, bringing that into the guf. Tzaddick emesh ha'irbo hasagas elikus kana. And this happens. How do we get to this? Through the true tzaddik who enlightens him with perceptions of godliness. Like you see a tzaddik eat, you see a tzaddik daven, you see a tzaddik dance, the way he talks, the way he gives tzedakah. You watch a tzaddik and it gives you the awe to be able to now, so it's almost like chiyavi to make sure you makush yourself to a tzaddik, because that's how you're going to connect to this deeper awe and be a dogma of how And it's preferish in the Torah. In Sefer Devarim it says davka bo. You have to be davik to a Talmid Chacham. So it also means a tzaddik. You have to be davik to a tzaddik in order to have the vekas to Hashem. It's EFSHA just, by yourself. It's not possible.
And the Gemara, Shabbos Kufan says that Talmid Chacham, his name is Moshe. Every Talmid Chacham, every big Talmid Chacham, his name gets Moshe.
Right.
Why? Because he gets P'chinas from Moshe.
Yeah, that's what we're learning yesterday. That was the Tanya. That's it. That's Tanya yesterday.
That's nice. Why?
And that's the tikkun of Korach.
And Tainis.
To realize that Moshe Emes, who Sarasa Emes, and whatever Madrega Korach thought Am Yisrael were on, Kulam Kadoshim, or whatever Musag he had, but he was not. But Emes understanding the Bechina of Moshe Emes, who Sarasa Emes, Moshe, that's why he's still saying it till now. To understand that Moshe was the Tzaddik Ador, was Das.
Every door was now Moshe, every door.
Yeah.
Now, it also says in the Tiny, Yochas and Asoi, Zumat Torah.
Yeah.
That's why every Buchar gives a droshe in his wedding.
Yeah.
It's Mamash P'chinas Matan Torah.
Yeah.
Because when in your wedding, that's why give a droshe? Why give a droshe in the wedding? Because it says Yochas and Asoi, Matan Torah.
Right. That's where we're going soon. We're going to go to the Rebbe's.
And every time
Enekul's chuppah.
Every time someone gives a Torah,
it's
like
Kabbalas Torah. Sure.
Kabbalas Torah.
That's why it's such a ruchnius thing, because you're getting neshamas. All the neshamas from all the doros come to the chuppah, and you're about to bring down all the new neshamas. They're going to come, and all the doros are going to come from this.
The whole Mashra is a shasheret. It's from Moshe Rabbeinu. The Rambam says in the Kedam from the Rambam, that in the shasheret from the Torah, there's 440. There's one Tul Ravashi, one Moshe went to Ravashi.
Sure.
נמצא שכולם קיבלו עם פרק גבוה. Because everyone gets from the Rav.
Yeah, it goes all the way back.
It's כאילו the Yugos from Hashem. It's mamish כאילו Yugos from Hashem.
And Moshe Rabbeinu was the first one to be the kli for that or. So just to end off, Zeo kilo tazav nafshi l'shol, that you will not abandon my nefesh to the grave. Nefesh hu bechinas malchus kidu. So nefesh is the lowest part of the soul, which is related to malchus, which is the lowest part of the spirit. And the whole point, as we're learning here, is to bring it down all the way into from Chochmah to all the way down, or Keser, all the way down into Malchus. Hay bechinas Chochmah Tata. The nefesh corresponds to the lower level wisdom. Ki lo ta'azov nafshi l'shol. That Hashem will not abandon us into the shol. Who was in the shol? This is where the Tzaddick says. Who abandoned us in the shol? Yeah, who got abandoned? He wasn't really abandoned, but Korach fell into the shol. He fell into this ball in shol. It uses the lashon shol. So, but just to end off, just sorry, 1 second. So the whole idea is that he will not abandon us, and even Korach's going to get his tikkun ultimately because he's still mukasher b'sof to the tzaddik. Yeah.
So it says Chaim Shola. Don't say that he died.
Yeah.
Chaim
Shola. Yeah, that's what Tzaddik brings. Surah Chaim. He says he went down and with the Surah Chaim, with the Chaim, with the life. We learn that in Rav Tzaddik. Shloi pel chalki amalka sheli bechinas chochma tata sheli shu bechinas nafshi. That the parts of Malchus, aspects of my lower wisdom, which corresponds to my nefesh, were not full. Lord Tazov the shol chas v'sholom, you will not abandon them and let my nefesh ascend to the grave, God forbid. So that's very appropriate for Korach. But ultimately, everything's going to have a tikkun. Even Korach is going to come out from the Kohen Gadol, with Mashiach coming. And this is the inyan that we have to elevate the guf, the rule of Klal Yisrael, through the Tzaddick and the inyan of Malchus. Talking about Malchus is tefillah, so let's go down. Bizarre, it's good news.